Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Jonathan Cohn, and today I'll be providing my review of the script for the audio drama Tempest Runner by Cavan Scott. This book came out as an audio drama last year in August, the tail end of August, and I did not read it then, even though I typically read all Star Wars books on release day. I did not read it because there was no print edition available. And I get it's an audio drama, so it's an audio format. But I am a visual reader, and I will read a print version if there is one. And I knew that they would come out with one eventually, and so I decided to hang back if I could. So this just came out. I read it on release day and afterwards. Despite how big it looks, this looks like it's a big book. Don't be intimidated by that, because it's actually a fast read because it is a script. So it doesn't have quite as many words per page. A typical book like this has about 300-ish words per page, maybe 250, somewhere around there. This one probably is closer to about 100 words per page because of the nature of it being a script. It also has thinner margins than most other Star Wars books, which really felt weird. In fact, I can hold one up and show it as a comparison. So this is Black Spire, and you hold up the two books, you can tell that there's that little bit of room. So it's a bit smaller in that sense. But I highly enjoyed reading Tempest Runner, and I'll provide my thoughts here. The first thought I'll have is that I love Cavan Scott. I love his writing style. I love his ability to plot things in Star Wars. I love his feel. You know, some authors try to tell fun stories and fail miserably, and other authors don't even try to tell fun stories. They just want serious, dark, gritty stories. Cavan knows how to tell a fun story that has dark elements and makes me enjoy it quite a lot. Cavan is one of these authors that I think kind of has, I would describe it as one foot in each world in the way that he writes Star Wars books. There is a style that is very prevalent in the canon, which is very character-focused and is very intimate and is small. And it has a lot of character growth. It has tremendous looks at themes and thematic questions, but doesn't really tell much story. That's where a lot of the canon books have gone. Not all of them, but quite a lot of them. That's been the high majority of them. Some of them have been really great. I'm thinking of books like Thrawn, or books like Phasma, or books like, why am I blanking? A New Dawn is kind of like this, where they're not telling a big story, they're just telling a small little character-driven piece. And then you have books that were really prevalent in the EU, which were enormously plot-based books. I'm talking your New Jedi Order type books. I'm talking the Legacy of the Force books. These are book series that are huge, interconnected, tell a big plot, but I felt were kind of lacking in characterization. Yes, there was tremendous characterization across the New Jedi Order as a whole, but each individual book generally didn't have that kind of characterization. Well, in my opinion, Cavan Scott gets all of the characterizations from the canon while including all of the great plotting and story elements that an EU book might have. So he truly is the best of both worlds in that sense. No, that's not a Star Trek reference. I really enjoyed getting to read this. This is split up into 8 parts, if you will, although the 8th part is like 2 pages, so it's really 7 main parts. And each part has different flashbacks but also has the present. So the present storyline is Lorna Dee is on a mission, she gets captured by the Republic, and they have no idea who she is. They have no idea that they have Lorna Dee. And that's the present timeline. And so she gets captured, and the present timeline is about her being a captive and trying to escape during the time of the High Republic events. The flashbacks are about her time when she was with her family on the planet that they're on, which I won't spoil for, and then talks about her journey through all of the horrifying things that happen in her life. Lorna Dee is one of those characters. She has a messed up life. You feel so bad for her. You know, there's a line in my favorite novel, Kenobi, where he basically says, it is okay to understand a villain. You can understand where they come from, but you shouldn't. And you can even feel empathy for them and feel sympathy, but you shouldn't let that drive how you treat them necessarily. And that's how I feel Lorna D is, that you can understand she's had a terrible life. You understand why she goes to the Nile, why she does these horrific things to other people. But at the same time, you're kind of like, oh, that's still not good. You're still not a good guy. I would not count her as a good character in this at all. She is a villain who has some heroic moments in this book, which were really fun to read. So she has such good complexity that I really liked in the book. And as a character journey, it is a character journey I enjoyed reading. It felt very similar in some ways to the characterization in Dooku Jedi Lost, which was also an audio drama, also written by Cavan Scott. I think it's better here, but it's a very similar type of character progression and the same types of flashbacks and intense journey that the characters go on, although it's amplified here. It's a much more intense journey that Lorna D goes on. I will say that there is a good supporting cast here. I knew most of them, not most of them, a good half of them. All of the returning characters, I knew who they are, what to expect with them, because the High Republic has built them up. And then Cavan Scott does a great job with all the new characters that are in. The only issue I would say as a script that this had was I had no idea whether the characters were male or female, because the cast of characters at the beginning of the book does not determine that. And so they were and in the audio drama, you don't need that because you can hear the voices. And so you just know, oh, that's what that character sounds like. That's obviously a dude, or that's a woman. In this, I read about an entire character for quite a while, a couple of times, with a few different characters, and I was under the impression that they were of one gender. And then all of a sudden it said she, and I was like, wait, what? Or it said he, and I was like, huh? And so that could have been handled a little bit better in the script. That's not the story necessarily, because that's not the way the story needed to go. That's just the script formatting. At the same time, I have another issue with the script formatting, which is in part 1 of the book, there is a mystery character. And if you read the book, you know exactly who I'm referring to. There's a mystery character. And all of a sudden, the script reveals who it is. It just says it. And I was like, wait a second. Wait, they're revealing that? And I kept reading, and there is a proper reveal in story where one of the characters says who this is, and you're supposed to have the dun dun dun, oh, this is who the character is. But that was ruined because in the script, it mentioned who the character was because it said, this character masked. And that should not have happened. They should have kept up the charade of who the mystery character is by saying hidden, or whatever it was, mystery character. They should have kept that person hooded and cloaked and unknown until the reveal. Now, Cavan Scott, when this was in a pure audio drama format, it's okay that he does this because this is a good way for them to remember, okay, this character, when they're directing the voice actors, oh, this character, you need to know that this is who this is. But they should have caught that on the read-through, and they should have edited that so that when you're reading it as a pure script, that it wouldn't give away the surprise. So that was a minor issue, really minor issue. The story itself, again, amazing story. And some of the characters that stood out, I really liked Whittick, who was in charge of the prison ship. His character and the growth and the progression and the reveals with him were fantastic. I also really enjoyed some of the returning characters who I can't give for spoilery reasons. There were a few characters in this book that they show up in the first part, and I was like, okay, we're gonna get a whole book of this character, and they're gonna be doing all this stuff, and then they never show up again. And I was like, aw. But there were other good characters that show up later. I really enjoyed the kind of mob boss character that comes up later on. She got a few hearty chuckles from me. I also really liked some of the moments where I was able to figure out exactly what was going to happen to Lorna D because of foreshadowing in the book. And she doesn't know, and I felt this sense of dread of, uh-oh, this is coming, this isn't good, this is how storytelling works, and I really like the way that Cavan Scott pays it off. He always pays it off just perfectly, that you feel rewarded for paying attention, but you doesn't feel like it's cheap. It feels just the right amount that it needed to be. So in that aspect, Cavan Scott did a good job with that. By the way, I really like the artwork here. This feels consistent with the High Republic artwork. It has the nice bright orange color background, which makes it distinctive. I also like the absolute detail. This might not show up on the camera real well, but the absolute detail of Lorna Dee's imagery on here is really good. I also liked how all of the fake names that she takes all have significance. She takes a lot of fake names in this book to try to avoid her revealing her identity, and they all have important meaning to her, and some of them she says the name and you don't get the meaning till later on, and some of them when she says the name you're like, oh, I know why she's using that name. A certain character, Oppo Rancis, shows up in this book, and he was so much fun, and I wish we had more of him, and Cavan, please do more with him. So, I have to say, I think that audio dramas really work well for the High Republic era because they're able to tell a big story, but they're able to do it in such a unique way. I think audio dramas don't work for the movie era, the original trilogy, as much because you have to give voices to characters who already have voices, so you automatically feel that it's rough. And also, there's only so much you can do. That's the reason I love the High Republic as a whole, is because they can go wherever they want, and they pretty much don't have to worry about stepping on anything. They can't kill Yoda, and they can't blow up Coruscant. You know, that's pretty simple parameters. Pretty much anything else, they want to blow up a planet, they want to go do something big, reveal a big villain, do something huge. They can do all that. They're not stepping on any toes. And that's the same for the Old Republic, and that's why I really like High Republic. And so, boy, I enjoyed this book. It's one of my favorite canon stories. I think I enjoy Light of the Jedi and The Rising Storm just a smidge more. But I loved this book. I thought it was fantastic. It is certainly in my top tier echelons of Star Wars books. And next week I have a video coming out on my rankings of the authors. Last week I did a ranking of the 9 novels that have come out. The 3 young adult, 3 middle grade, and 3 adults. I did my ranking of those books before. Now I'm doing a ranking of the authors themselves, about their styles, about the way they handle characters, the way they tell plots, the way that their stories have impacted me. And this one definitely influenced where Cavan Scott's position on the ranking goes. So, if you've read this book or listened to it in audio drama form, tell me what you thought down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Are you interested in reading the High Republic? Have you read the High Republic? Let me know your thoughts. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you would please subscribe. I have lots of content for Star Wars and other properties as well. And I do lots of book reviews and rankings and things like that. So until next time, I'm Jonathan, and thank you for watching.